What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is up 0.83%, 485 the low, 501 the high, and very low volume. So 15.9 million shares being traded, 63 is the average. So with the lower volume, this is why you're getting a lot of extra volatility. But nonetheless, during the pre-market, you did see some good buying, and then you had that spike to 501. Regrettably, there is a heavy resistance level at that stage. So looking right now, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 473 is going to be a strong support. 490 is going to be the next strong target size for resistance, which in my opinion, it is going to kind of be above. And then 501 is a heavy resistance, which it did bounce off of. At the same time, you can kind of see shorts did increase once the market did open. So they also did attribute in kind of adding some selling pressure right here. But nonetheless, one thing that did come out that really pushed it higher was this right here. So according to domestic media reports, NIO Group received over 10,000 new orders last week. So again, another source mentioning 10,000. So I think given all the data, it is fair to assume that NIO is going to exceed that, because if not, for whatever reason, if they somehow don't and aren't able to hit that 10,000, they look extremely stupid. So I think it is fair to assume that a lot of this speculative kind of number of 10,000 is going to come to fruition, in my opinion. So that could really positively impact the actual stock price once announced. So again, that is one thing that kind of came out. The only other thing that really is causing the market to kind of go down a little bit and some level of uncertainty is this. So US military ready to deploy National Guard in DC. And this is because of a pending White House order. Most likely, it is going to be a relatively hot topic, because why else would you be deploying the National Guard? So that kind of caused some level of uncertainty and causing the market to go down. But no SEC filings or press releases associated to NIO today. During the pre-market, you did have clearly a lot of Chinese stocks being and digesting the inflation data that did come out Friday evening, but clearly didn't really impact it all that much. Aside from all that, looking at the options, 1.59 million in calls, 264,000 in puts, 61% of all the options being done today are bullish in nature. So despite everything, you are seeing a lot of optimism for it to continue to move higher, which is always a relatively good thing. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 5 to 550 for the end of this week, as I've kind of mentioned in my video yesterday. No different from that. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 450. But aside from that, though, there hasn't been any new articles really coming out. When it comes to analyst ratings, there was one that just was posted, even though it shows 10 days ago, but this was a $5 price target. This firm, I don't know what's happening with tip ranks in reality, because it does show TR OpenAI. Analyst has a 59% success rating, but it seems as though that this firm gave ratings not just with NIO, but on a lot of different stocks, and then they just kind of retroactively added them. So it's kind of a weird scenario, but nonetheless, it does show one came out 10 days ago. And then as far as on the actual chart, it is above the L90, so it does show some signs that it wants to push higher, which is always a good thing. Above all the key pivotal moving averages, as you can kind of see, and stochastic RSI is considered very oversold, so that could really stand to benefit it going into the next couple of trading days. So all in all, this is a quick summary of exactly what is moving NIO. A lot of volatility, so let me know your thoughts, if you're buying, if you're selling, or what you're doing with NIO. And one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.